Welcome to Sound Values, powered in part by LSA Burger and Classic of Denton.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight on DentonRadio.com. We are broadcasting out of the beautiful Discover Denton Welcome Center on the Weather Can't Make Up Its Mind this week, Denton Square. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kind Beats, and I am sitting here with maybe a man of mystery. Maybe some of you don't know who this guy is. Maybe some of you are a little too familiar with the Square, and you're like, oh, those college kids over there having a little too much fun. I'll tell you what, the reason they're having too much fun is because my man right here, DJ Spadus. What's up, man?
Nothing much. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm happy to have you, man. You know, kind of like I was saying before the interview, I know enough about you to where it's not two random dudes in here, but I don't know enough about you that if anybody was like, tell me about Noah, I'd be like, that's about it.
I get you.
You know? So I wanted to kind of get you in here, man, and first not only kind of talk about your experience as a DJ and how you formulated not only getting shows and keeping those shows as well, but what kind of brought you to that point as well? What guided you towards like, hey, this is what I want to do? Some people pick up guitar and some people play different things. You know, but the turntables are an instrument as well. I've had this debate many times. Not often I can convince the other party that yes, it is an instrument. You know, so my very first question that I have for you is what I actually ask everybody. Is the first question is, what is your first musical memory? So like that first time you kind of remember music either inspiring you or where you realized that music had an impact on the world around you.
Oh man, that's so many records. Like that is a lot of music. That's hard, but I don't remember like really the first record. But I remember I have a vivid memory of me playing in like the backyard to like Lenny Kravitz's "Fly Away."
Nice.
Like that was a good record. I remember jamming out to that one a lot when I was a young kid.
Did they? I wonder if they must have had American Woman on there too.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that song too.
In the 6th grade, we were riding on the bus, and Adam Powers was listening to that song, and he was like, "Yo, you got to check out this dude, Lenny Kravitz." You know, so that's awesome, man. So you're just in the backyard now. Did you you were saying there's a lot of different records. Did you have a lot of different music in the household when you were growing up?
Oh yeah, I did. I had my mom was an aerobics teacher, way back when. So she had a bunch of.
So she had clothes that looked like this right here. The bright colors.
I guess, yes. I actually got this from Lofty.
My jacket's right over there. Shop look of the year. Anyways.
Plug.
Yep. Done. Exactly.
No, but so she had a lot of like techno music like from the 90s, and like it was like very warehouse, and it was interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really get into that until like high school.
Okay.
But like my dad was like very rock too, like very classic rock.
Okay.
So I had a very nice influence from that.
Mm-hmm.
And then my uncles had like the soul and funk.
Nice.
So I got a like diverse of a diverse like intake of like so many different music.
Yeah, the different stuff. Did you have any siblings or brothers growing up?
Yeah, I have a sister.
Okay. Did she kind of like, did she like have the door closed and was like, "No, go away," but you could still hear her jamming some, some Prince or something in there? Like
who? My sister.
What would the sister be listening to? Yeah.
Whatever the pop
Okay.
stars like what was it? The One Direction.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
yep.
One Direction, Justin Bieber, like all the main guys. Until recently, she started getting into more like Latin pop artists, and it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Because I like a lot of the Latin artists right now too.
Very cool. So, what are some of the more like Latin artists that we should look out for?
Ozuna for sure. Bad Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Cap G. Yeah, Cap G.
I think those of us who don't know it still know who Bad Bunny is because he's been on the radio a lot.
Yeah,
you can turn on, the reggaeton and those hip hop stations, and you'll hear Bad Bunny, and then you turn on 94.5 or any of those others, and you hear it too.
Right.
So pretty cool how those are able to. He's crossing over, man.
Oh yeah, he's for sure becoming on an international scale, and it's great to see that like even the United States is taking him into the mainstream records.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's cool. And I mean, what I'm still waiting to see is when you see a bunch of people in the club like rapping in Spanish who don't normally speak Spanish. Something I've always wondered is like, if you go over to Germany or France or other countries, are they, like rapping? I wonder if for them rapping that in English would be just as like I get, as different for us as like, oh, I'm going to rap this in Spanish. Sublime kind of did it a little bit like in the early 90s with some of those records they had. But I think it's cool because, now you have all these different people of different cultures and ethnic backgrounds that can come together and realize like, hey, it's music now.
Yeah, it's just mixing.
Yeah.
And
and the beat is good too. That little flute he's got going on. I was like, okay, man, this is it's hard for me to change it when this is playing. I enjoy it. So, you're listening to different records growing up in the house. When did you kind of start to come into your own as your music, rather than when you just got in the car and would listen to whatever your folks were listening to?
It was definitely like middle school, high school. I started becoming a very large fan of like hip hop and rap. And then techno was always in the background, kind of. Like I always had that weird love until the electronic scene really became like it started to be renewed in like the 2010 era.
Yep.
So first it was like hip hop with like Eminem and Lil Wayne, and so I got all the main people.
The Carter and yep.
All the stuff that's like classic to my generation. And then like T-Pain, of course.
Yep.
And then you go into when I got into electronic music, and that's when I started going like into like more I guess like underground stuff. I don't know. Not like people thought it, even like the larger artists that we know of today as like underground. Like what Flostradamus at one point.
Bass Nectar.
Yeah, Bass Nectar was he was pretty big at the time that I found. Well, I considered him pretty big.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. But now he's like a superstar.
Yeah, exactly. Like your grandma knows who Bass Nectar is now. That's cool, man. And so, as you're how did you go about finding different music? Because my generation, we had Napster, and you had LimeWire, and that was kind of how we went about discovering new music. Was you just saw it on TV and then you typed it in and it came up with thousands of songs by these people. How did you kind of go about discovering this music?
Sometimes it was my cousins, like family members that would they lived closer to the West, so like they would send me stuff that they thought was like cool from what they thought. And so like sometimes they would send me stuff that was ahead of the curve or something like that. And I really got like kind of interested in being ahead of the curve most of the time about music, because I can just show people cool music and then they'll be like, oh, you showed me this. Thank you so much.
Yeah. There were some kids in middle school and high school who did that for me too. The Finlayson twins, actually, they were always showing me new music. They're like, "You never heard of this?" Nah. So that was cool, man. Did you ever have people make mix CDs for you, like burn CDs and give them to you and say, "Yo, listen to this," or did you ever do that vice versa?
No. I mean, I made mixes for people, of course.
Yeah.
But other than, no one's ever given me like a mix just specifically for me.
Yeah, I've been like, check this out. There's a whole bunch of good tracks. Nice, man. And so, when did you did you play, or I guess here's kind of the other question is, did you play any instruments when you were growing up? Did you pick up the guitar or anything?
Yeah, I did piano for a while, for a couple of years.
Right on.
Yeah, my mom put me in that, and I really liked it, but like I don't know, it was strange why I gave it up, but now like I love playing the piano.
Okay, you go back to it now?
Yeah, now, yeah, for sure.
And it takes a lot of patience to sit down and first off go through a lot of music, but then listen to that music as well. You were kind of talking earlier about how you're working on a Valentine's mix. What is kind of like how I guess the question is really like, how do you get yourself to sit down and listen to music and kind of find new stuff and really sit there for however long, maybe an hour or so, and find new music, 2 hours? What kind of pushes you to get in that zone and sit down?
It's me trying to find that what the expression of the song has, or what the song has to express, and so how can I make two songs blend so well together that it's or like, how am I trying to say this, in like just a straight flow?
Yeah, just continuous.
Yeah. And that's what like I really like my focusing my mixes on, especially the R&B mix that I had last year. That was like very continuous. Most of it was in key, even though there were some like BPM flips for sure. But it was all about keeping the flow of just trying to make someone feel like that the expression of the song doesn't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, it flows into the next one. Yeah, I know just what you're saying, man, for sure.
Yeah,
And watching guys like you and Sanford Black and other people where those mixes are so smooth, where all of a sudden you're like, wait, there's there's a new track, you know. And if you're kind of paying attention, like sometimes I'll be in the car and I'll listen to 97.9 like Friday nights or 94.5 on those Friday nights when they've got DJs in there mixing, and you'll hear them kind of bringing in that next track, and then they'll start to like loop a certain part, and they bring it in, and then it's just so smooth, man. I love it, and that's where I think kind of the true art form of it is. That's where the practice comes in. That's where the time comes in, right there. So when did you first discover the art, the expression of the DJ? You know, when did you first come across that?
I didn't really think about like the expression of the DJ until I saw like turntablism. But like, it made sense when like house DJs were doing it, like Tiesto, and like they would put so much effort into their sets, and had their song selection was for a certain reason. They played certain records to express certain feelings. Yeah, and then they could bring in a song to hype it up, or they could bring it down and make it feel something else. That was what it was important to me. Like, that's why I liked watching them work.
When did you come across that?
That was UME when I saw Tiesto.
Okay.
That was a long time ago. That was when I was 16. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was my first.
Okay, so that was when you kind of first got introduced to it, because you've got those DJs who do EDM, and then you kind of have hip hop, you know, and then you got the guy Wiki in the country, you know, at the Boot Scoot and Boogie down in Waco. I've seen it. You know, so how did you kind of say, oh, hey, I can like hip hop, I can like EDM, and I can blend those two together? What set you on that path?
That was when I came to college. That's when I started UNT.
Okay.
I was still pretty house-based, electronic when I came to UNT.
Okay.
And like, I felt like if I was gonna be a DJ here, I needed to somehow like incorporate both, or be a hip hop DJ as well, just to develop like some kind of a job with DJing,
a repertoire as well. Yeah. And so you kind of started. What was kind of the first like equipment that you got, or how did you get into it? Like, because there's so many now even more so. There's so many bits of gear and equipment. How did you kind of dwindle it down to here's what I need to start?
I just thought about like what's not that inexpensive, because I don't know if I really like this. I mean, I tried it on, like I first started with virtual DJ. Like I downloaded an easy download of it on a really bad computer, and I invited my roommate now over, and we like mixed like a few Tiesto songs.
Yeah.
And then it was not that good. It was horrible.
But it was fun.
Yeah,
that was the thing. It was fun, and you were, and I think sometimes what attracts people to it is that if the DJ who you watch, you know, who you see looks like they're having fun, then you kind of want to do it. You're like, that girl's having so much fun. I want to have that much fun. So I want to learn how to do what they're doing. So how did you go about learning, getting better? You said the first one was trash. So how did you get better? What were some of the steps you took?
I just practiced a lot. My parents can definitely say I practiced a lot. A lot.
That's what's up, man. Well, it's good that they're supportive of it too at the same time.
Yeah.
And so when you moved to UNT, had you DJ'd anywhere? Had you played any shows yet, or were you just kind of where had you played?
I had played a few shows. I played at the Green Elephant a few times.
Okay.
And like I did, like there was a bunch of local shows that I had done before. I played at the Nines, which is now called, or I played at the Red Light Lounge, which is now called the Nines.
Yep.
And that was on Tuesdays, and I remember we got 2 drink tickets, and every single time I would just get cranberry juice because I couldn't drink anything. So I would be the only DJ up there with cranberry juice.
That is awesome. Yeah. Just the cranberry juice. That's perfect, man. You know, definitely not like I've had a few artists before where like I was running sound at Backyard a couple summers ago, and I'd be like, hey, here's your drink tickets. And they're like, we can't use these. I'd be like, why not? And one kid was like, I'm 17. And I was like, here's your 2 free pizza slices, homie. Like 2 Cokes, 2 Topo Chicos, whatever you need, you'll be good. That's awesome, man. And so did you know, let's see, I'll throw out some names, you know, like some Dallas kind of staples for a while. Past the 40. Yep. You know, he would play, and he still plays.
Oh yeah, actually, the first time I ever met Past the 40, it was at the electronics store, or the rave store, Amazing Lights.
Oh yeah.
I used to be a Glover, so like I used to go down there and like shop. And the first time I ever met him, like he was DJing there for like one of the light session shows.
Nice, man. That's cool. I mean, I used to go down to and watch DJ Pierre and then all those dudes late night. In the 3 a.m. when it would all open at clubs. Whatever you want to call them. I used to go down to those, and of course there were all the hand lights and everything, man. So that was like a big part of when I first moved up here. I met some people. I was DJing at house parties, and then they were like, "Hey, you should go and check this out." And so that was like the first time that I was exposed to Past the 40 and some of those other guys. And then there was Black Frames.
Yeah, Black Frames is crazy.
And then
dope.
of course Junk Food.
Junk Food is the homie.
Junk Food
Shout out Junk Food.
Yeah. I talk to him pretty often, man, and I've always appreciated his style all around. And he's actually, when I've played in Dallas, he actually comes out and watches me. So much respect to Junk Food and his. He plays at Beauty Bar. That was one of the first places I ever played in Dallas too.
I like going to his event out there. The Juice Bar
Yeah,
or Juice with JC. Oh
Yep.
man, that is a good time. I have great times out there.
Did you ever know? And this is a rest in peace. Did you ever know Tyler Brown?
I did not. I did not have the honor.
He was good people, and he was the first person to ever book me like down in Dallas at Beauty Bar. And he was like, "Yeah, we kind of play like down tempo house music type stuff." And I was like, "Okay, cool, like sweet." And so I got to play that. And then he couldn't play another festival. And was like, "Hey, you can go play this." And so a lot of shout outs to that kid, because for some reason he couldn't play these certain shows, and so he gave me those opportunities to get that experience and kind of that first time exposure. And so that was cool. And so as you then you move up to UNT, you've played a few shows, you're getting your cranberry juice and chilling, doing it big. Did you ever play at Lizard Lounge? I
have not yet.
Neither have I. I think that's a DJ Titan exclusive over there.
No. I almost did. I can't say anything about
almost.
it.
We'll move past the story now. So you moved to UNT, and how did that kind of change? First off, why did you come to Denton?
I've always lived in Denton. My parents live like 8 miles from here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. And so, you're living here, and so then you decided to go to school. Where did you go to school for?
I went to school for radio, television, and film.
Okay.
But it's now called media arts.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, the RTBF and all that fun stuff. And when you started going to UNT, how did you start to get your foot in the door, your name out there? What was that process like?
Like my brand name.
I mean, even the brand name, just kind of the adventure of like, how do you, living in Denton to then spinning at these places. There's a lot of people who are in the crowd watching you who want to be doing what you're doing and wonder, how did he get there?
There's quite a lot of steps. When I first started like trying to become a hip hop DJ, I reached out to one of the biggest at the time. It's DJ T-Walk.
Okay.
And yeah, he's crazy good at. He knows what he's doing with hip hop parties. If you have not experienced a T-Walk party, you are missing out, because he knows exactly how to throw a party.
That's what I like to hear.
But so I was pretty close with him my freshman year, and he showed me some of the ropes on like what's like some of the new and upcoming hip hop stuff, and then he kind of plugged me into some of the other DJs that were kind of around campus, and then I really found a UNT group called the North Texas DJs, and I met Justin Stringfield, Shelter. You met Shelter? No.
Nah.
Yeah, he's overseas right now.
Okay.
So
nice.
If he's watching this later,
yeah, shout outs.
Who else? Echo, DJ Echo.
Okay.
Those were all guys that like I met, just based and there's another guy that threw Brain.
I don't know.
No. No, man.
There's all these cats.
I
Man.
know. Yeah,
I don't know, but I want to know them.
He threw a fundraiser, and he had all of us out there, and that's really how I met all of them.
Nice. So you found, basically, you're like, this is what I want to do. Where do I go to do this? Boom, right there.
Yeah, it was really my whole goal was, when I came to UNT, was find like a group of DJs and hang out with them and somewhat build somewhat of a team, and then just see where we can go outside of college.
Yeah, and so how did you start to build a brand?
It was really Shelter, Brain, and me. Like, we were kind of like this group of house party DJs that no one really, like, we didn't really like push ourselves to be like on flyers and like go hard on promotion, but we got in touch with like the Snapchat groups on of UNT, like the UNT parties and North Texas Entertainment, all that stuff. Those, since they have such a big following, like if we posted something about it, like there was gonna be an exclusive house party with us. I mean, there was gonna be a good turnout.
Nice.
And so and they wouldn't be often. They wouldn't be every weekend.
Yeah, for
It'd
sure.
be like one every 3 months.
Nice. Yeah.
So, and if someone else booked us like from for just a random party, like we would show up, but we wouldn't tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
Like so then we just gain that way. Like
Very
people
cool.
freak out. Like, who is this guy that's just murdering this party? Like, and that was a crazy thing. Like when we would show up in DJ, like people were freaking out because they'd never seen like the type of energy.
Yeah.
And
For
like,
real, man.
And it's surprising. Like there's like being like a freshman or sophomore in UNT, and you're like, I thought all these senior DJs out here killing this stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of them were, but then the other ones that didn't really take it seriously weren't.
Man, I know what you mean too. Like, you know, having, you know, I played some of those parties, you know, and I can remember one where we were having so much fun. Me and my buddy Jared, he goes by Mr. Casual. He would bring his stuff and I would bring my stuff, and we would mix in and out of each other.
Yep.
And so I remember one time I looked up and my homies Josh and his buddy Danny, they had cleared out their whole garage. They had this house. They're like, well, we're tired of the house getting trashed, so let's just clear out the garage. And they had put lasers in all four corners and then like all these other lights and stuff going on. And I remember at one point I looked up and this dude had a rake. Like, had brought a rake from outside and was just fist pumping with this rake. And I was like, yo, you know it's a party because Rake showed up. And like you said, the energy and those people, they have so much fun. They're not used to it. They're like, whoa, what is this? And like I said, you're having fun up there, you know. And so if you're having fun, your audience, your people you're doing it for are going to have a better time. They're going to have a better time. So now that you've started to kind of make that name and build a brand, how do you continue the uprising and not, you know, because you'll have some guys who they're going up, and then they have that one night where all of a sudden it's just,
Yeah.
you know. So how do you keep yourself kind of on that upswing to where you continue to have a positive influence and good representation?
I'm sorry, say it again. I was thinking about like one answer, and then like
Yeah.
I was like, hang on, you said positive. And
So how do you get people to hit you up again? You know, 'cause keeping that good representation and that positive name on yourself.
It's really just networking. Like you show that you're really dedicated about what you're doing. Like you meet the right people, and then you also show that you're practicing or that you're getting better somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for me, like I would post like routines or like stuff that I was doing, like in my sets.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I really gained like people still interested in what I'm doing. I think I had like one of my favorite wordplay transitions actually got like, I think it was like 186 retweets on Twitter.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
a really good exposure. And then
Yeah.
another big one, I guess I could say is my second round at the SFA DJ battle last year. I did it was the trap round, and I did some pretty interesting stuff. Like I used a lot of wordplay. I called DJs out like. All within like a minute and 30 seconds.
That's what's up, man. So this was more of a battle type thing.
Yeah, that one
you were
was,
doing.
and that one had like over 18,000 views or something like that.
Nice, man. Yeah. So showing what you're doing, you know, there's
Yeah, it's that, and also like when you're out in public, you don't, again, just don't be ruthless. Don't be mean. Like you are your brand.
Yeah, showing up on time
Yeah,
is always nice.
Showing up on time, like being on the professional side, like doing like galas and stuff like that. That stuff is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Showing up early, being polite, make sure you have all your stuff looking extremely nice, cords wrapped, everything. Like they want the top of the line stuff. They are paying you good money.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep, exactly. So did you have your own sound equipment you would bring, or okay, nice. So
Yep.
you would load it all up, and man, that's a lot of hard work.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a lot of it's. You know, you're there an hour, 2 hours early, and you're there an hour, 2 hours later, you know, especially if you're doing house parties because you're cleaning up and you got to walk through all those people, or you got to, you know, you got to meet those requests. And so that leads me to my next one, man, is the request line. As a DJ, you know, how do you manage requests throughout the evening?
it honestly depends of one, like if it's the beginning of the night and like there's not really anyone there and you really just want to hear a song, like that's fine. Like I could probably work it in or something like that. like I can probably do it within like 2 songs.
Yeah.
Don't stress about it. But like as soon as you get the night keep on like heating up, it's get harder and harder to like slip in something that you might want to hear because it could totally not be the vibe of the entire place. I'm thinking of the entire place. I'm thinking of my bartenders staying on the energy that they are. I'm thinking of the management like listening. If they hear me drop this slow song in like in the middle of a hype, like I don't know, like 130 type set, like I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to get me to do here. You want me to kill this whole crowd?
And I've had moments. I was down in Austin playing. On this like real swanky like rooftop with the pool and everything, and you know the waitresses are all walking around with the swimsuits. And
was
I was
it
like,
Rio?
Lux, I think it was called. It might be Rio now. Who knows? This would have been last summer or 2 summers ago. And this girl came up to me. She was like, "Hey, play this song." I can't even remember what it was, but it was definitely not something that needed to be played right then. She's like, "It'll get everybody bumping in here." Like, I said, "What's your name?" She was, and Jackie, something like that. I was like, "All right, Jackie." I said, "I'm gonna play this track. If they do not have a good time, you have to come up here and apologize on the mic." And she was like, "All right, it's going to be great. This track's going to work out fantastically." She came back up after the song. She was like, "Give me the mic." And I was like, "No, I'm not really going to do it to you." I was like,
you definitely get an appearance saying it.
But because then it was, she kind of came back up and she was like, "Now I kind of see like what you were talking about, where you're like, hey, I might not be able to fit that in right now because look at what's really going on right now." So, man, what's one of those requests that you won't ever forget, like that somebody has asked you to play where it was just not really the time for it, or just a memorable request?
I right now I get a lot of requests, but the one request that I got, it was that Baby Shark song.
Oh no.
Like, okay, I get it. Like, I get the pop culture gag out of it. I get it. I get it. That's not what we're doing here. We have baby mamas coming out for the weekend.
Yes.
They don't want to hear that.
Baby Shark, do. We're not dropping that track tonight. I had a guy come up to me when I was playing the WinStar pool. And, I'm playing hip-hop stuff. The guy, DJ Noe, who normally does it, he wasn't able to do
Noe
it.
G?
I don't know if it's Noe G. I just know that he went by DJ Noe. And he lives up in Colorado. But he flies down and spends that place on the weekends because they pay him buku dollars, which thank you, Noe, for that gig. But a guy came up to me, and, I'd been playing, kind of going through. I was like, okay, cool, we'll play some Migos here, some Childish Gambino. All right, cool, then we'll mix it into a little bit of Michael Jackson, a little way through that, slowly easing my way all around. So one guy comes up to me, he's like, "Yo, man," he's like, "can I get some Godsmack?" And I looked at him, I said, "Hey, man," I was like, "much respect to you, man. You're here on your vacation, having a good time." I was like, "But I don't think I can fit Godsmack in right now." And he was like, "Okay, fair enough.
I've had my like my security guards out there, like they ask for something like extremely death metal. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, can I get
I can play that like at the end of the night.
Yeah, can I get 30 inches of blood real quick? Is that possible? Like, trying to mosh real quick. Yeah, so those some classics. Now, the other thing that DJs have to deal with a lot is the inebriated patron. Maybe somebody who's a little too aggressive, or somebody who's waving their cranberry juice over the top of your gear a little too close. What's the professional way to go about getting that individual back to having fun and not worrying so much about what you're doing?
Usually with especially on Fire Street, it's usually I just like tell them just to move the drink away, and they usually understand. But sometimes I've had girls that are just way too wasted, and they're like, "Why are you telling me what to do?" I'm like, and then their friend's like, "Don't worry about her. I'm getting her out of here." I'm like, "Please."
Yeah. There's those times, man, where I'll like had somebody booked and somebody walks up and they haven't played enough gigs really to know what to do. So then I'll walk up and be like, "Hey, like." No, like, "Oh, I just want to talk to him about what he's doing." I was like, "Yeah, you're not gonna walk up to a guy while he's playing the acoustic guitar and ask him what he's doing, right?" Like, or if some guy's in the middle of a song, you don't walk up to him and I mean, some people might, "Free bird," and yell that one out. So there's I think like you're saying, the most professional way to do it is try to ignore it as much as possible and
Well,
just be like real calm about it.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. I mean, they're not trying to they're not trying to ruin your stuff. They're just being oblivious.
Yeah. You know, and I told you that I hadn't played on Fry Street, and I realized that I lied because my buddy Waldy, he used to play at the garage. And there were a few times where he couldn't be there until like 10 or 11, and so I would go play the garage. And I had an experience. I want you to ask your opinion on this. You know, feel free to give it. Where a girl walked up to me, and there was nobody there yet. It was like 8:30. All right. So I was kind of playing like some chill stuff. You know, there weren't a lot of people hanging out. You know, I was just kind of playing like boom bap hip hop, kind of just like we're easing in the nights. You know, it's like if you just walked in here and there wasn't even a DJ.
Yeah.
Really. Well, she walked up to me. She said, "I need you to play Drake," and I forget what song had come out, but it was more of a bumping type track. And so I told her, I said, "Hey, I would love to play that right now." I go, "But if I play that right now, then I can't play it an hour and a half from now whenever the whole place is packed and it's real crowded." And I was like, "So if you just give me a little bit of time, you'll be even happier when that track plays because you're not going to expect it and you're going to have all your friends out here to celebrate with." How do you feel about that? Feel pretty professional about
Yeah,
that
that's
explanation?
like one of the best things. You're extremely nice.
Okay, good. Because even she was like, "Okay, sounds you do you then." I was like, "Cool." And later on, I played that Drake track.
I mean,
and
that's
she was like,
it's the perfect response.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one of my other mentors on Fry Street. It's a Dupree, DJ
Okay.
Dupree. He's extremely talented turntablist. I've never seen anyone genre bend records and the way he does it.
Nice.
But he's a great MC, and sometimes females will act out against him, and he'll either be extremely nice or sometimes he will snap, and people respect him for that because he's not here to like take care of you. He's here to supply you.
Yeah, he's here to be a party and have fun with that party for sure. I completely agree with that, man. So so when was kind of the first time that you played at Fry Street, and what are some of the places that you do play at Fry Street?
The first time I ever played on Fry Street was actually for a DJ battle, and this is how I got on my residency, and this is how I met like my entire friend group now.
Nice.
I was 19 at the time, and I was still trying to get into the Fry Street scene. I didn't understand, and because I was young, I wasn't able to go out. So I met one of the bartenders, and like I asked him if I could go in and like be part of the DJ battle, being underage. And he's like, "Yeah, that's fine." And shout out to Austin Blackman, that's the bartender. He literally he's the one that gave me that opportunity. So
good job, Austin.
On that, so I would go in and watch all the other DJ rounds and stuff like that. Like in my first like preliminary round, like I just DJ'd and did some cool stuff, and that's where everyone started to kind of like take notice of. As a young kid.
Okay.
So after that, it was the first round. My first round was against Dallas's last Red Bull 3-style champion, and we haven't had one in a long time. But he's the one that's like the reigning Dallas champ. Nice. And so his name is DJ Rizza, and he's one of my good friends as well.
Very cool.
And so I battled him in the first round, and I actually won the first round of the 3 rounds. And so after that, he kind of just beat me. But after that, he really like kind of talked to me, and he was like, "Yo, like there's a lot of potential that you have here." And one of the judges, DJ SC, he's the one that really took me under his wing just by talking to him about music and like listening to other transitions, and like I was pinpointing songs before they were even coming in.
Oh,
like,
nice.
And he was like, you can tell what music is, and like, and so with that, like his connection and Austin and Rizza, and especially White Way Boogie. Boogie. They all took me under the wing, and over time, like they gave me a chance on Fry Street at the patio. And after that, they just told me to keep on coming back, and then eventually came into a residency.
Yeah, over my years, I've seen you spin a few times. You know, when working at LSA, you know, people would be like, "Hey, we're gonna go to Friday night," and I'd be like, "Okay, cool." Like I'll go to Lou's, and they'd be like, "Hey, we're gonna go over to Public, and we're gonna have a good time," and I'd be like, "All right, cool." And then I would go out on the patio because I knew that was where some good DJs were. For real, man. I would go out there and wouldn't even get wild or anything like that, you know. I would just go out there and I would just listen and watch y'all. And that was when I first saw you with the hat flipped up and all that stuff, man. And so that was kind of like when and then I kept kind of going back every once in a while just for the music. Like I swear, like the bouncer would look at me, he'd be like, 28.
For real.
Like, what do you? I'm like, dude, Paul McCauley's in there. He's like 36 years old. Let me through the door. Like,
Sideshow, yeah.
Yeah, DJ Sideshow's in there, man. Let me in there, bro. All right, So but I would just go and just watch y'all because y'all were good DJs, man. So I enjoyed that, and then that was one of those nights where I went around the corner, and then DJ Una was playing, and so then I met her. So shout outs to that whole area, and Fry can get a bad rap at times, but what I mean. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Go out there and just have a good. Just like I said, I wouldn't even really go to drink or to party. I just went because it was fun to listen to the music and watch the transitions, and I would learn some new stuff.
Right. And the thing is about the patio, it's not supposed to be a party at all. I can make it a party if you want to. Like, and sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. It depends on either how well the DJ inside was doing, or just how the outside was doing. Like. If it was early and I had a crowd outside, sure, I can probably put on some more popping records so that they could eventually go back inside.
So what is kind of like when you're paying attention to the crowd? How do you kind of make those swing transitions? If you notice, like, oh man, it's kind of dying down a little bit. People were having fun now. It's not, or people were energized and now maybe not as much. Because I think they're always having fun, but it's about creating that next level energy. How do you go about getting that back?
It's honestly, when I think about DJing, I think about nostalgia a lot.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of the college crowd relies on nostalgia. So, you're playing like a bunch of the top hip hop hits or like what's hot now, and then you throw it back and you hit them with like some crazy old record and that everyone knows how to sing.
Yeah, some 504 Boys or something, some old Lil Wayne from a while back. Yeah.
That, or even like just a classic like ABC or like even that, like that's just something that throws them off, and it's at a different vibe too, like because current hip-hop is like more like I kind of want to say like it's monotone in the trap,
for sure,
hi-hats.
It's on a more mellow wave. I mean it's it makes you feel like some syrups around at times. So So when you flip it back like that, or also using like more twerk tracks, okay,
or like more tracks like oriented to women,
okay,
because I feel like a lot of the hip hop right now, excluding Tyga, like is like for some women, but like in the part like the slow and like you're hanging out with a bunch of friends, not like you're wanting to dance.
Yeah, exactly. The music's a bit more male-oriented right now.
Well, and also, like, I feel like concert-oriented.
Okay. Big spaces, lots of people. Yeah, for sure.
Right, so, yeah.
For sure. And, you're 100% right about, playing to the people that are dancing. And if I don't think anybody can say that you're wrong on the fact that girls are most likely going to start dancing before guys. Maybe not all the time, but, in our business, in the music industry, if the girls are dancing, then
the guys will come.
The guys will come and have
drinks.
fun. And and it's that whole thing. And people can get upset about how the whole system works, but that's just the way it is. It's how it's been for as long as I've known it is, play music that they want to dance to. They'll want to dance. Guys come, they buy drinks. Cool. Then more friends show up, and that's how the bartenders are happy, venue's happy, girls are happy, guys are happy. Girls are happy because you're playing good music. Guys are happy because the girls are there having a lot of fun. Bartenders are happy because everybody's there. The venue owner is happy because everybody's there. And so it all stems from that, man. There's a reason that like Soul Train and all that stuff, they always had the ladies dancing. There's a reason for that. And so now that you've graduated, you graduated from UNT, which congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
That's what's up. Where do you see yourself going from here?
Right now I'm still DJing at Public House, and like I fill in for other DJs, and I have like a main spot on Saturdays, and I do on Friday night patio, but also like I go hang out in Dallas, and I see I'm really learning. I feel like I'm still learning about the clubs in Dallas and understanding their vibe, and I haven't DJ'd out there other than like the Nines or
like K Moore does the Nines a lot now,
like simple stuff out in Deep Ellum. But like I feel like there's a difference between bottle clubs and the clubs that you definitely want to be dancing in.
Okay.
And so, and I'm trying to understand which ones are the more dancey clubs, and which ones are the more bottled.
Yeah.
And so,
yep.
I'm trying to find like where do I see myself ideally playing, or like what places do I like hanging out at, or stuff like that. One of my favorite places to go is Truth and Alibi, just because it's have you been there?
Where is this? I've never heard of it.
It's in Deep Ellum.
Okay.
So it's really cool because it doesn't look like a club. The door is like a candy shop, and you have to know the password. It's just like a speakeasy.
Oh, okay.
So then you just go into the club, and like it's like purple atmosphere, and there's some bottle tables and stuff like that.
Okay. Very cool.
But it has like lasers and a nice DJ booth, and
nice,
it's
man.
pretty cool.
That's what's up, dude. Very cool, man. So it sounds like you've just had like this kind of experience in general where you like music, and then you go and you see a couple of shows, and you're like, I kind of want to do that. You hang out, which is I love to hear kind of those natural come up stories where you're kind of like, man, I just kind of happened. And that's what you put yourself in the right place, though.
Yeah.
You said like, and a lot of, you can be like, hey, I just kind of happened, but it's like, no, like you found the DJ, you found the North Texas DJs. You started hanging around those guys. You were nice, which I have said from the beginning that being nice, showing up on time, and
highly
being
underrated
hardworking
trait
will get you further than making the dopest beats, because it does not matter if you make, like, people don't want to hang out with you if you're not a fun person to be around. You might get to the top, but it's not. It's lonely up there.
Yeah.
There's a reason that's there. So it's awesome, man. And then you continue to stay on your craft and get better at it, posting those videos, finding the gear that works for you, learning how to work a crowd, work with the music, work with the people who are a little too gone to know what's going on right away. So, man, it sounds like you have a very cool story, of how you've gone about doing these things on your own and being proactive, and staying proactive and continuing to do that and going, this is what I'm going to do. Now I just got to do it.
Yeah.
And so that's awesome, man. And I respect that a lot, especially in any music industry. It's not easy. So anybody who can start to make a name and make a few dollars on the side and keep gigs and continue to grow and get better and better and better, especially at a young age like yourself, man, just keep doing it, because it's so much fun anyways,
Yeah.
So why would you stop? But that's my soapbox for the moment, man. So we got a couple minutes left here, man. So I was wondering, before we go, I got to know, what is your favorite snack?
Oh, it depends on my mood, man. I don't know. I will honestly make myself fried rice if I feel like eating fried rice. Yeah, dude.
Nice, man.
Back in high school, I used to be like an Asian kitchen cook.
Nice.
Also, I started as a dishwasher, and then I went to the kitchen, and then went to sushi.
Nice.
So
very cool.
I would just cook up Asian food if I want to.
Dude, that's what's up.
So
a man of many talents here, folks. You want fried rice, he'll roll you sushi. You want some good transitions, wiki, he's got you covered. All right, well, man, it's been awesome having you out tonight, man. It's
Thank
a
you.
good conversation. My pleasure, folks. We got DJ Spadus here. Y'all can check him out on Fridays, Saturdays. Let's see, are we at Public House both those nights?
Yes.
Okay, at Public House on Fry Street. Do you have any other stuff that's going to be coming up in the next couple of months where people could check you out other places?
Yeah, well, I have a mix coming out on Thursday called it is called Come Home With Me Too. Don't come home with me.
The sad boy mix.
The sad boy one. It's gonna be 30 minutes, and it's R&B songs that people don't really listen to. It's not like mainstream. It's stuff that I dig for. Like the past 2 weeks, I've been like going all over Spotify, like going through crates that I've had, revisiting songs that I thought didn't work in the other mix. Other than that, like I'm going to Colorado in March.
Nice.
That's DJ Vice.
I don't.
No, he's a club DJ in Vegas.
Okay.
He's crazy good.
That's awesome, man.
But he's hosting this retreat out there, and it's like with DJ City and stuff like that.
Very
it's
cool.
about the business side. It's not he's like, they're not even gonna have any
no
DJ equipment.
Turntables, just
they're like,
notebooks.
it's literally notebooks.
Yep.
And so I'm gonna be there from the 4th to the 6th, and then I'm gonna be in Austin for South by Southwest for some shows I cannot say anything about.
Nice.
But
well, that's what's up, man.
Things are going to be looking good. I cannot say a lot of things on the air right now because
I like it.
There's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of mystery
There's a lot
in
of
the
stuff
air, and that's what I like to hear. Smoke signals, that's when it comes up.
Wayne said it the greatest. Real G's move in silence like lasagna, like the genes of lasagna. I forgot what it was. Yeah.
Whatever Wayne said, you know.
Butchered that line.
So yeah, talk about what you did, not what you're gonna do. How about that, you know? So man, thanks again for coming on the show. Once again, y'all, DJ Spadus. Make sure y'all check out his mix that he's gonna have coming out on Thursday. It's called "Come Home with Me" Volume 2. And then Fridays and Saturday nights, you know, let's say you want to take the lady out, get a little crazy, go check him out at the Public House on Fry Street. Man, just keep working hard, man. We love you around here. Keep it up, dude. Once again, y'all, DJ Spadus. Y'all tune in next week. I got the Polarity here. We're going to have, 3, 4, maybe even 5 people from the band here, so it's going to be a good time. We got Ellie Bell and the Denton Vibe up next. Y'all stick around and tune in for that. I will see y'all next time right here on DentonRadio.com. Peace.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.